can a company expect a return on their investment, a positive return on their investment during the deployment period, or should they have longer term thinking? What have you seen from your experience?
Okay, so I've had the blessing of working with large companies, and so my point of view is biased, and I understand that. You know, one of the things, just real quick on that, there are people out there who say that every project should get $250,000. Well, yeah, if you're GE, it probably should be $2 million. But what happens if you're a $10 million company that wants to do the same thing? That's a ridiculous thing to ask for, right?
Right.
And so a lot depends on who the company is, what your cash flow looks like, what your volume looks like, what your margins look like, all that sort of thing. But, and again, we got the largest Fortune 550 deployment right now. There is a return on investment within the training period of black belts. There's a return on investment of the working projects for the customer. And generally in the working projects for the customer, the returns is 3 to 1 or greater in the implementation period. And we're looking at annual savings the 12 months after something's been done, okay? And in black belt training, the returns are more typically in the 5 to 10 to 1 range, and it's in the first year following it. So if you're expecting to, I did 4 months worth of training in that time period, I paid for everything, probably not realistic. But in the next 12 months, you'll have paid for it in spades. And, you know, GE is a great example. They spent $200 million their first year of deployment, and they saved $200 million. The next year, it was over $1 billion, because what they did is set the stage and set the momentum, right?
Right.
But certainly in the 12 months following, if this is being done right in a larger corporation, it's got to have returns. In a smaller corporation, I have a good friend that runs a tool and die shop. And his potential savings, if we did everything perfect, are probably in the $5 million range. We do a lot of things to lean out his organization to get his spare. He holds spare parts for his customers. We make sure that is done a rational way. We do things to facilitate his flow, and we work on defects. You know, again, a lot of CNC programming, that sort of thing. There's mistakes made, and so we work on a lot of those kind of things. His return is probably over a 2 or 3 year period, but it's still the right thing to do, because what he's doing is getting geared up to compete globally, and it's got to be the right thing to do. But a lot depends on volume of your company, and anybody that says everyone's got to be $250,000 has never had to work with a small company.